So I'm going to try my best to make sure the video is not too long. So the first thing you're going to do is create a circle like that, and then I'm going to change the color to say this. Okay, so now we are going to go to move and transform. I'm sure you know where to find all these things. So move and transform, and I'm going to create a keyframe at the beginning, and then at maybe 1 second, I'm going to create another keyframe. So at the 1 second keyframe, I'm going to stretch it to say 216 or 214 like that, and then at the beginning I'm just going to close everything. So I'm going to bring the keyframe, the starting keyframe, in a little bit. So it starts from 1 second like that. So it comes in, and then I'm going to go to my graph editor, motion graph, and then I'm going to give it something like that. So it gives me something like this. Now for the graph, I want it to overshoot. I need it to overshoot a little bit. So what I'm going to do, what I mean by that is, so it goes up and then rest a little bit. So what we're going to do to get that is you go to the graph. As a matter of fact, I'm going to stretch this a little bit like that, and then I'll come here, these 3 dots, and then I'll click on enable overshoot, and then you see this one at the top. I'm going to drag it a little bit like so. So you see it blows up a little bit and then it rests. So you see, so that's what we're going for, something like that. So it blows up and it rests. All right, now I'm going to create a duplicate of that, and then I'll change the color to say maybe white. Okay, so we have 2, something like that. So but for the second one, this one at the top, I'm going to go to the move and transform, and then I'll set the ending keyframe to something smaller like so. Okay, so we have something like that, and then we have something like that. So now it might not be perfect like the one you sent, but anyways. All right, so we are now, I'm going to go to my download file. I downloaded something like this. Okay, so you can also just search for rounded edge triangle on Google, and then you get something like so. All right, so then I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees. Cool. And then I'm going to reduce the size a little bit. Nice. Okay, so at the end we should have something like that. Nice. Okay, so now we have all that going for us. So what we want to do is take the triangle to the beginning and then bring it in to create that impact that we have on the. So now it's going to be timed, because it is at this point where these 2 guys are coming down that we want this brother to strike, the triangle to strike. So we're going to bring it in a little bit like that. So it gives me something like that. So at that point, I'm going to create a keyframe for my move here, and then at the beginning, I'm going to just drag it out like so. Okay, so it gives me something like that. But let's not forget our overshoot. So we want it to overshoot a little bit. Let me disable overshoot first, and then give it my like so, and then I can go back and enable the overshoot. Or we might just, okay, let me just disable the overshoot first. Disable overshoot, and I'll okay, or all right. So at this point, I'm going to make my triangle move a little bit forward like that, just for the sake of the impact. Okay, just for the sake of the impact. So it will move like that, okay, just to create the impact. Now at that point, at this point, I'm going to move my circles. So at that point here, at this point, I'm going to create a keyframe for the circle below, the bigger circle, and then at this point where there is impact, I'm going to move it like that. Okay, so if you give it a play, you have something like that. Okay, but it looks like it's too far off, so I'm going to adjust that. So I think the first keyframe I made is at 1.1. It's supposed to be at 1 second. Cool. And then the other one is supposed to be at, let me check. I'll check at the triangle. So at the triangle we have 1.1 second, the second keyframe. So our second keyframe also is supposed to be at 1.1 second. So I'll just adjust it to 1.1 second, like so. So yeah, you can have something like that. Okay, now we are going to create another one for the smaller circle. So at 1 second, okay, at 1.6 I'll create one, and then at 1.7 I'll create another one there. Okay, nice. So we have something. No, it's not nice. That is why we have to be very, very careful with the. So okay, I think what I'll do is I'll just create a bookmark there, and then yeah, I remember where I went wrong now. So you see, that's why the bookmark is very, very necessary. So I'll have another bookmark there, and then at 1.1 I'll bring that other one there. 1.1. What's the challenge? Cool. So what we'll do is adjust it. I don't know why it is overshooting. Okay, so I think we are good. Nice. All right, so we have all that going. Now the next thing that's happened is it returned to the original position. So I'm going to drag them back to the original position at, say, this point. All right, so I'm going to drag the bigger circle back to its original position. I'm sure this is the original position, and then I'll create a bookmark there, and then I'll do the same thing for the second one. Create it, move it back to the original position, and then the triangle too back to the original position. So we have something like this, like that. Okay, so we have something like that. Now the next thing we want to do is this triangle. We want to change the color. So what we'll do is go to effect, add effect, and then I'll go to color, and I'll come to say replace color, standard settings, and then I'll click on the red color here, which is the color I want to change, and then I'll go to my color picker, and then I'll pick this yellow. You see it changes to blue automatically, but I don't want it to change to blue. I want it to change to the color of the circle below it. So I'll click on the blue color, my color picker, and then I'll pick the blue color below it. So we have something like that. Nice. So another thing we want to do is morph the triangle from the beginning, so it makes that nice effect like that. So what I'll do is I'll click on the triangle, go to my effect, add effect, and then I'll select my squeeze. I'll go to distortion and warp, and then I'll select the squeeze standard setting. And so now I'll click on, so at this point at the beginning, as a matter of fact, I'll just go to the end and go to my effect, go to the squeeze effect, and then at this beginning I am going to create at 1.1 second. I'm going to squeeze it like a little bit like that. Cool. And then at the beginning, I'll just, not too much, but just give it a little bit of a squeeze like that. So yeah, you can see, can you see it? So at that point I'll add this, and then at this point I'll just return it back to, I'll squeeze it a little bit, and then when it returns back to the position, and I'll return it back to 0. Okay, so in case you want to follow at the beginning it's around 0.37, at this place of impact it's around -0.36, and then at the end it's back to 0. Okay, so let me just make it end at 2 seconds there. Okay, so that's what we have for now. You see, so can you see it? Boom, pop, like that. All right, so now the next thing we want to do is, there is this illusion that it's created. There's one circle that was moving around. I don't know what to call it, but we're going to so what we're going to do is create a duplicate of the triangle. Just follow what I'm doing. We create a duplicate, and then we create a duplicate of the bigger circle below, circle 1. So I'll create a duplicate of that too, and then I'll take it to the top. I'll take the copy of circle 1, which is circle 2. I'll take it to the top. Okay, so what I'll just do is, at this point, I'll blow, or let me change the color first, because it's very important that we see what we're doing. So I'll change the color to something like that. And if you want to see the name of the gray what is it called now, the code of the color, that's it right there, DEEBFF. all right. So now at this point, at the point of impact, I'll just blow the circle up a little bit. At that point of impact, I'll blow this bigger circle that I just copied now. I'll blow it up a little bit. Okay, and then at this point I'll just reduce it like so. Okay, cool. So we have something like that. Okay, so if you give it a play, we have something like this. Now it's not making sense, but it will make sense in a bit. So what you're going to do now is you're going to click on this, press and hold on the circle and on the triangle, and then you just click on this masking option here to show what's inside there. Okay, so and then I will bring my smaller circle, this smaller circle, that is the smaller white circle, I'll bring it on top. So we have something like that. Okay, so what I can also do is I'll just go in there go into my mask, the mask I just created now, and increase the circle a little bit because it looks like it's very small. So I'll just increase it a little bit like that. No, it's too big. It's too big. Looks like my triangle itself is small, but no challenge. Let's go back and reduce it. Okay, it's supposed to be the same size as the okay, so let me just, yeah, I think it's okay like this. Yeah, it's okay like this. All right, so the next thing we are going to do now is we are going to put group both the triangle, the original triangle, and the masked triangle that we created. We are just going to group them together. But before I do that, I would like to make the rotation now, because it's the change of color that is very, very important. So because there was a place where the color changed, so what we're going to do now is at this point I'm going to create I'm going to do that. I'll create a keyframe for the color, but that is where we're going to do that is, so you click on the yellow triangle, come to effect, because that's where you change the color, remember. So you're going to click on replace color, and then you click on this brother here, this one, that's where you change the color. So you click create a keyframe, and then you move it to the point where you want the, I don't know how long it's going to take to make that rotation, but I'll just pretend as if I know and do that, and add a keyframe here, and then I'll go to the color and change the color to maybe let's say this guy. Okay, all right. We're having a problem now because it's blending with the background color. So what we can do with the background color is try to adjust it. Anyways, anything can work as long as it's not as long as it's not affecting okay. So we have something like that. Let's just, for the sake of so we have something like this. All right, it's not going to be too long. It will be clearer soon. All right, so we have something like that. And then for the I think I need to bookmark the area where the color changed. So from here began to change here, and then it's ended here. Okay, it's very important we make those bookmarks so that we want to do it for others, we will know what exactly we are doing. All right, so I'll go into the mask I made, because the color of the circle also changed. So we're coming here, and then we'll bookmark the color there, and then I think it's 316. All right, so we add the color there, we add the bookmark there also, and then we change the color to something like that. So you see, so we have our colors changing together like that. So one more, we go into our bigger circle below. I'll click on that, the big circle, the first circle. Okay, so we click on that, we come here, add a keyframe to the color, and then come to where the rest changed, and then I'll add that color right there. All right, so you might not be seeing what I'm doing, but it will be clearer soon. Okay, so the next thing we want to do now is we want to now make that rotation. So at this point I'm going to click on the yellow circle, the original triangle, and I'll press and hold, and then with the mask that we created, the mask of the triangle that we created, then I'm going to group them together like that. So I'll come here, I'll click on it now, I'll come to my move and transform, and then what I will do now is, you see that black dot here, that black dot you see there, I want it to be at the tip of the triangle, because if I want to make my rotation, I want my rotation to move from the top. So the anchor point should be at the top. So how to move the anchor point is I'm going to click on the move tool again. You can see the move tool has been selected, so I'll click on it again, and you can see now it has brought that crosshair whatever on it, because I've click on it again, and then I'll show you. See, swipe here to move pivot point, which is the anchor point. So I'll move the anchor point now to the tip of the triangle like that. Nice. And then I'll click on it again to move out. So you can see now it says swipe here to move layer. If you click on it, it will say swipe here to move pivot point. If you click on it, swipe here to move layer, right? So now we want to create that rotation. So I'm going to click on that, and then I'll click on my I'll click on that whatever it's called. The name just went out of my head. I don't know. Well, you saw what I did. This thing I just did now, I've been calling the name since, and now it just went out of my head. I think it's called I can't remember. And then you come here and you make that rotation. I'm sure that's going to be a 360 degrees rotation. Yeah, and so you have that. Okay, so what we are going to do is we go to our graph, and then I'll just adjust this like that, so we have something like that. Cool. Now the other thing we want to do now is add a background. So the black background that popped out, so we go here, circle, make it black, and then I'll take it to the back, and all I'll just do is just blow it up around there. So I'll add my keyframe at the beginning, and then at this point, at that point 222, I'll just increase it like that, and then I'll give it my, so we have, or it could be this. Let me see if it works. Slow and then fast. Yeah, that's the one I'm looking for. Now to create that morphy kind of effect, you're going to come to your effects, add effects, and then go to warp, and then come down to turbulent displacement, and you can just play with the setting. Just play with the settings, and it will give you whatever it is you're looking for. Let me just show you what I'm talking about. The strength, I'll just drag it. I'll drag the strength. You see the, I don't know the name of this thing. What is it called? I can't remember. Is it I don't know. The name just went out of my head. I've been using it since, but I can't even remember. Is it anchor point? No, it's not anchor point. What is it now? I can't remember. I don't know. Anyways, so you have that, but you know what I'm talking about. This I can't remember the name. Just, this is terrible. So I'll go in again, the strength, and then I'll reduce the strength a little bit. I'll just reduce the strength a little bit, like that. What else do I need to reduce? The evolution, I think, no. Anyways, you can just play around with it to, give you something unique. You can just play around with it. I told you I don't want the video to be too long. Okay, so I don't want to get into, if the video is too long, sending it is going to be a problem. So we can just reduce this a little bit like that. So you can see. So what you need to do now is blow this up at this juncture. Yeah, so we have that. I don't know why it's still not covering the whole. That should be here. I don't know. Okay, I think that is it. All right, so now that we have that for that, so you can see all our colors now are showing. Let me check what the time of our video is. I can't see the time. Anyways, am I sure I'm still recording? All right, we are still recording. All right, so that comes up like that. Now for our, let me just make all the same like so. So we have that. So the next thing we want to do now is we're going to group all these our layers together now. So I'll group them together. Yeah, and then the next thing we want to do now is move it a little bit behind. So we're going to create that movement around this point. So at this point, let me just bookmark. And this point for our movement, we're going to add a keyframe. That's what I've been trying to remember since, a keyframe. And then at this point, we'll just drag it behind like so. And then we are going to just add that graph. Yeah, so we have something like that. Now the next thing we want to create is our text coming out, optic coming out. So this is where we are going to start. So I'm going to create a text C. It's going to be a small letter, and I'm going to use this brother, and then I'll change the color to white, and then the size, I'm not sure this is the text at the font I used, but then what do I know? Let's manage it like so. Okay, just bear with us. All right, so at this point I think I need to reduce it a little bit. It's too big. Yeah, I think it's okay at this. Yeah, it's okay like that. So at this point, it's going to start there. The movement began there. Cool. So it's going to start there. So I'm going to add my keyframe. So I'm going to add my keyframe for my move. Yeah, like that. And then at this point, I'm gonna move this brother. I don't know why. Anyways, I think I need to adjust the anchor point. Okay, let me just undo whatever I have done. Yeah, the anchor point is very important. So I'll move the anchor point to the middle of the C for my rotation, because the C actually rotated. So cool. Yeah, that works. So now we can go ahead and make our movements. So I'll add a keyframe, come here, and then move my C. Yeah, so to that point. And then I'll come to my rotation. I'll add a keyframe there. I'll come back here and add a keyframe there, and then I'll just bring it to maybe 170. Yeah, so we have something like that. And then I'll just do the needful with my graph. Make sure you are using the same graph for your movements. So we have something like that. Okay, cool. So the next thing you want to do now is start putting the remaining text. So for this one, I'll take it below. All right, so the next thing we want to do now is create the letter I. Since I don't have any I without the dot on top of it, so what I'm going to do is I'll just create an I for an I. That's, and then I'll come to my move and transform. I'll split the parameters and then I'll adjust appropriately. So I'll bring my I here. It's too big, too long, and then I'll just, yeah, something like that. All right, do whatever works for you. Cool. And then we just apply the same movement, but don't forget to just what I'll do is I'll just do the same thing for them. All right, so at this point I'll add a keyframe to my I, and then at this point I'll add another keyframe. So at the beginning it's going to start from here, but I'll just drag it a little bit away from the middles, because at the time my eye will be coming in, yeah, you see that border would have moved. So, and then I'll add the same keyframe, so we'll have something like so what you need to do now is just stagger it a little bit. Cool, and that's it. You do the same thing for your text. Okay, so you just copy letter C, duplicate letter C, drag it up, change the text. That's going to be letter T, right? Small letter T, and then I'll just stagger it like so. Nice. So what I need to do now is I'll go and remove the rotation, so I don't need the rotation. So we just do away with the rotation because we don't need it, and then you just adjust appropriately. So I'll come to there, I'll adjust it inside, yeah, so it starts from there and then it ends around here. Nice. So we need to adjust our eye. I think the eye is misbehaving, or what we might need to do is just adjust the size. So I'll just adjust the size of my eye like so, and then I'll take it up. Anyways, do whatever works for you, right? Please, because my focus is on the time of the video. It's already too long as it is right now, so my problem is how to get the video across to you. All right, that is done. Then we go for our up tick, which is P now. So we go for the P. So you do the same thing. You copy the, you already understand that. So I'm just going to skip that. All right. After you are done with your text arrangement, the dot of that dot that's landed on the eye, you can just create that by doing the following. Okay. So you can see the red line showing you that you've already used something of that size before, so it's guiding you. So all right, so now this is the beginning. Okay, so I'm going to create a keyframe there, and then I'm just going to move it a little bit and create a keyframe there also. Now for the beginning, I'm going to take it outside the frame like that. You can see, so it lands there. But what we're going to do now is, as it's coming in, it's reducing in size. So we're going to go to our transform, and then at the end, I'm going to create a keyframe there, and then at the beginning, let's say I move this a little bit out there, and then at the beginning, yeah, so at the end now, it's going to reduce to something like that. And then for the size and for the move, it's going to be around somewhere. I think we're having a problem now because our anchor point is not at the middle, so I don't know. I don't know why. Anyways, we can just okay. I've even forgotten how I did it the first time, but no challenge. Alright, so what we need to do now is, yeah, I don't know, so we have something like that. Okay, so my explanation might not be that cohesive because my mind is in 1,000 places right now. You can see messages coming in as I was trying to, yeah, so, but I'm sure this will just guide you a little bit to know, some of all these things are not that difficult. It's just a matter of your perception of how it was done. Okay, so if you can perceive, just what I normally do is the video you sent to me when I wanted to do it the first time, I cropped it and I put it in on top of my frame, and then I was following it frame by frame. Okay, so at this frame, this one is here, at this frame, this one is here. So that is how you begin to gather techniques and understanding of how things are actually being done, right? It's just my previous knowledge that helped me understand where am I supposed to mask, where am I supposed to group, and so on and so forth. So just let that also guide you. All right, give it a try once, twice, 3 times, and you'll be okay. All right. If you have any question, let me know. All right. Myself, I know my explanation is not that cohesive, but just bear with me. My mind is scattered abroad. All right. Enjoy.